Hey guys, welcome back to Billy Ray Garage. Today's video we are putting this fender back on, taking that fender off, taking the battery tray out, cleaning this all up, and port 15ing it so it looks like this. And yeah, then we could get back to a rolling chassis at some point. I don't know if I'll do it in this video, but we'll see. So anyway, let me grab some tools, and hopefully there's only like 8 to 12 bolts and a couple nuts to get out of the way, and this will all come out, hopefully. So let me get started. Alright guys, got the fuse box out of the way. So now I'm going to disconnect the fender from the chassis, which if you look at this side, same thing, 4 bolts. There's a couple, on mine at least, this little armor. Had to drill out a couple of these rivets. And then also underneath, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is a little 8mm guy here. There's one over here that goes into the fender. You got to take that out. So, gonna do that on that side, and hopefully we'll get this fender off. And then also, you got these 4 bolts here holding on the fender to the battery tray. So we will get onto that in a minute. But first, let's do the 4 down in there. 2 of them I was able to get from up here on that side, and then the other 2 I had to go through the bottom. So I'll try and show it the best I can. Stand by. Alright guys, got a little extension in here with a 13mm. This second from the top bolt seems to be going nicely. Now when you get underneath, you're going to want a longer handle ratchet to get up inside the wheel well so you can reach that. That's what I did last time. Worked well. There's not too much room in here to get like a ratchet or an air ratchet or a battery ratchet in here. But that's okay. What's 4 bolts? Let's see if I can spin this freely with my hand. Okay, got it. Got that one. Stick you there, get the top guy. Well, at least these 2 are going nicely. Man, winter sucks. Come on. You're almost there. Get out of there. There we go. Okay, got that one. Alright, let me get my ratchet with the extension and crawl underneath and start attacking this side from the bottom. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see, but maybe you can, but right there, the other 2 bolts, boop, boop, holding the fender to the body. And then you have fake battery, well, no, this is real battery tray, other side's fake battery tray. But yeah, I got, see if I can show this thing to you. But if you get one of these extendable little ratchets to get up in there, that comes in handy. This one happens to be a Husky, so got it at Lowe's at some point. So let's knock this, I'm going to knock this out off camera because I have nowhere to mount the camera, so I'll catch up with you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm going to take off these 4 bolts for the battery tray that go to the fender. Now these little bitches here, let me see if I get some light in here so you can see it a little bit better. It's just a little clip that slides on, and on the other side they broke. So the way to handle that is, or at least I did, I just put a channel lock on it, hit it with the gun on the other side, it came right off. No big deal. What the hell is this thing? Alright, that seems to be permanently in there. We'll figure that out when we get to that point. Anyway, let's get these 4 little jerks off. Now the ones on the other side, you have to shove the friggin' channel locks up and inside to try and grab them. So hopefully they don't break because they're a pain in the dick. But I'll show you this the best I can, and yeah, we'll just keep chugging along. Okay, we'll start with this bottom guy. We'll just see if it just goes. If not, we'll do that thing. Alright, that one cooperated. So that's okay. Now, what about this top guy? Let's see if we get that top one. Oh, that one went too. Look at that. Yeah, we're doing things here. 2 for 2. Alright, I'm going to crawl underneath and try and get the other ones. Can't really show too much from this angle, but you can watch me struggle. Well, maybe watch me struggle if these things just go. That would be ideal. Nope, that one's spinning. And that one's spinning too. Alright, hard way. Let's get up in here. Yep, that one broke. Clearly broke. Let's try and grab that like that. Some good leverage on it. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy. Got the bolt and the broken clip. Yay. Now I gotta get the one up top. That one's a pain in the dick, but gotta get it. That one's difficult because it's tight quarters. Maybe, maybe not. I may have to get something else up in there. I don't think this is gonna fly. Or maybe it will. Yes. I put it too far away. Damn it, it came off. I had it. Try it again and see what happens. Alright, I gotta figure this out. I'll get back to you after I get it off. Alright guys, I was able to get one of these like right angle channel locks up in there to grab it. It sucked, but we got it. So I think the only thing holding this thing on are the 2 rivets for the side armor. This thing's flopping in the breeze right now, which is cool with me. But let me drill those out real quick and we'll take this fender out. Alright, here we go. Hopefully this fender does not come dropping down, but these are the only 2 things holding. So that one's out. That may be an issue, but we'll figure that out in a second. Let's see if we can drill this out a little more. Good enough. Alright, let's get this fender off. Alright, should be able to get the fender now. This thing is not heavy at all, so nothing to worry about there. Let's see. This. Yeah, I may have to drill that out a little more. Time out. Smidge relax. Let's try that. Now we should be good. Should it be good? It's stuck there. let's try that now. There we go. Put this thing out. Whatever you're connected to, I have no idea. What the hell is this thing? Where do you even go? Oh, you go to that. Alright, let's fish you out. I don't know what this little vacuum line is, but whatever it is, it's holding us up. And now we should be able to get this out, hopefully. Let's connect you from here. It's a dopey little vacuum line. That's weird. Let's get you through here. I'll show you that box. Let's see. Right here. Yeah, so this box here, that's where this vacuum line goes. I have no idea what that's for. Leave a comment if you know what it is, because I have no idea. And just like that's where my Jeep is taken apart. Now we'll go on to removing the battery tray, which I believe is... Oh, let's see what we got. So we got a nut. Where the bolt's at? A nut, 2 nuts, and a bolt. So there's one nut there. Right here somewhere. There's another one there. And then underneath, there's this guy, but I have a feeling that one's going to break, so we'll see. It's going to take off this little side step thing too. And here's the battery cap. So let's knock that out real quick. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but one of the bolts broke on the fender, so I'm either going to try and salvage that, get it out, or just make my own and make a new one. I have no idea yet. That is a future project. So let's get this thing off. This should be 13 millimeters, the same as the other side. I don't know what this is, but let me knock that out real quick. All right guys, I'm gonna try and show this the best I can, but I'm gonna try and take these nuts off. We got one nut here, so here we go. Well, these that came off. There's one nut. Let's get this guy over here. Right, that went very peacefully. That's cool. And we'll get that bolt down here. See if we can get that. That went very peacefully. That's awesome as well. And then I'm not sure what size this bottom one is, but we're gonna go for it with 13 and hope that's 13. This thing's probably gonna snap. Holy crap, it didn't. All right, so we got that one too. Woo. So now in theory this thing should come off, but there's a little wire. There's a little wire going to this thing. I don't know what that's for. Yeah, where do you go? Where do you go? You go up into there. Alright, so there's a little wiring harness we gotta disconnect. So this little guy goes to this. I don't know what that does or what it's for, but it's connected to the tray, so we gotta take it off. So give me a second while I disconnect that. I almost stabbed my finger. Whoa. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's right there. Alright, let me figure this out and then we'll move along. Let's see if this thing plugs in. Oh no, that thing will come out, it looks like. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's for. Let's see. Oh, it pulls out. You said I don't know what it does. Yeah, that's weird. All right, yeah, let me figure that out, and I'll get back to you. I'll pull this off and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, guys, leave in the comments if you know what this box is. It eventually splits off from here, goes through the firewall, and then the other end, I believe that one goes to the intake manifold, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. And also, if you know what that little wire sensor is, or whatever that is, let me know if you know what that is, because I have no clue. But anyway, here's a battery tray. Not the fake one, this is the real one. And yeah, I'm gonna clean this all up nice and pour 15 it, and we'll move along. So anyway, I'm gonna make a YouTube short on this, so hopefully maybe I'll get the answer before this video comes out, which will probably be the case because this probably isn't coming out for a few weeks. So anyway, I'm gonna clean up the frame on this side, and then actually I'm gonna put this fender on right now just so I have something to lean the hood against. And then I'm gonna clean up that side and pour 15 it, make it look like this, and we'll probably wrap up the video there. All right, guys, quick break from working on the Jeep. In this video, at least, it's been quite a bit since I actually did work on it, but I'm going to show you some of the goodies I got and some of the progress I've made off camera. So here's some parts here. Doesn't seem like anything special, but I got new dust shields for the front wheels, for around the brake pads and the brake rotors. Got a new front track bar bolt that mounts to the axle itself. Got this little strap for the springs in the front axle. Probably not going to put them on today, but whatever. This is for the rear axle. This is for the rear shocks. Found this company that actually makes this little thing that you shove over the top. And you can bolt the rear shocks in. It's from that company, Iron Rock Off-Road, not a sponsor, but good stuff. So that'll make it easier. I don't have to weld anything. Got some front bearing bolts. These are for the shocks, I believe. Let's see, yeah, shocks, shock bolts, nuts, all that stuff. Got some Bilstein shocks for 6-inch lift. Body mount bolts. These are control arm bolts. Got some new rear sway bar end links. Body mount bolts. Got a whole set of them. I forget what's in this box. And this is a steering stabilizer. So we're going to be putting some of this stuff on today. Probably this. Use a couple of these bolts up because I'm putting the front axle back on. So that I could have a partially rolling front axle or partially rolling frame. So that eventually I can just roll the frame out, I can clean it off, pour 15 it, get it back under. Now I have a 4-day weekend, which sounds great, but it's windy as shit today, and it's gonna snow tomorrow and Sunday, which is obviously Saturday and Sunday. So, yay. And I have Monday off for Martin Luther King. So we'll see what happens Monday, but I was hoping to really get this frame off. The forecast was saying it wasn't going to snow, and then all of a sudden, oh, we were wrong. So, weatherman, should have been one. All right, let me get all gooned up and outside and get the GTO out of the garage so I could wheel an axle around and put the rest of it back together so I could slap it in and throw my winter tires and wheels on. So when I get to it, I can wheel the frame out and hopefully get this thing going a lot faster than it currently is, because I am working a lot and gotta make that money. Need car parts. Is what it is. Anyway, let's get outside, see what I did, and then we will start configuring the front axle and hopefully get it in. Okay guys, here's where we are at. We got an axle that's all pour 15'd up and top coated. We're gonna put some goodies on there. I got some old bearings we're gonna throw back on here just to get a rolling front chassis. And yeah, we're just gonna go from there. We're gonna put all the old stuff back on. I'm gonna get all the new stuff in the spring. So don't fret, I'm not putting the old stuff back on. It's all gonna be temporary. So yeah, got some dust shields, bolts, and let's go check out what was accomplished about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we got port 15 on this side up to that body mount. Same thing on this side. It is all nice, shiny, purdy. So we're gonna put the front suspension back on so at least we could get a front rolling part, because I will go over later on my plan to try and remove this frame as soon as I have time to do it. So let's go back in the garage, let's put some stuff on the axles and continue on. Alright guys, I'm going to throw the front bearings back on. I did the other side, just give a trial run because these bolts, actually no, they do say TJ on there. Huh. But over here it says, you know, Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, so I just want to make sure that they fit, so I did that side, knocked it out. But here's the part number. If you would like to get it, I will freeze frame it so you can look at it. The reason why I went with these is because they're a 6-sided bolt instead of a like 18-point socket, so, or 16-point socket I should say, one of them. So swapping these out, brandy new. Gonna throw them on. These are only temporary. The bearing is old. That's gonna get swapped out in the spring. And like I said, I'll go over later on my plans for why I'm just doing the front axle for now. So hopefully it works. Let's see what we got here. Set that in there. Line this guy up, which will be that way. So hopefully all is good in the hood. Something like that maybe? Nope, not that way. There we go, that's what we want. Something like that. Throw this guy on. And spin it in place as all the trucks go by. And I'll start by threading one of them in. Coolsies. Alright, cool. Let's see if we get this guy. Let's started. That guy's gonna need a little help to get in. Cool. There we go. There we go. And these particular bolts are a 16mm, so we'll just start cranking them down. Crank them down slowly. Alternate every couple turns. Okay. And here, there we go, cool. All right, bearing is on. I'm gonna throw the nut and the shit in here just so nothing comes flying out. Shouldn't, but I'm gonna put it on anyway. And like I said, I'm getting all new shit, so shouldn't be a problem. So I'm gonna throw this in and see what we got. All right guys, putting the axle nut on. So what you're gonna need is, you're gonna need big washer, like this guy, boop. Nut, boop, that guy. And that is a 36mm. And then you're gonna have a little spring thing. There you go, you can see it. And a little cap and a cotter pin. I gotta find a cotter pin. So, just gonna zip this home, not gonna go crazy, because like I said, this is pretty much temporary. So here we go. Good enough. Then we're going to put our little spring guy on. Put that right there. And then our little cap. And then I will find a cotter pin real quick, a little box in here. Okay, I got my whole box of cotter pins, awesome. So I'm not gonna go crazy, I'm just gonna bend one side. Get in there, get in there, there we go. Alright, cool, no. Give that a little bend, just so it stays in. And there's my little bend. That should be very adequate. We'll knock out the other side, and then we'll start wheeling this out under the Jeep, and then we'll start mounting control arms and shit. And also, I gotta go to the store. I gotta get gear oil, because I do not want this thing sitting outside dry, and I gotta get more grease for these grease fittings for the ball joints, because I don't want it sitting out there bare. So, let me run to the store, knock that out real quick, and then we'll start throwing control arms and shit on and see how far we get. Alright guys, I'm back to a front rolling chassis, so that's good. I did it all off camera because I'm going to be doing this again when I go to put all the new stuff back on, so I figured I'd save the time. But yeah, front portion of the frame is port 15, the axle's port 15, and we're just going to keep chugging along at some point when I have a break from work. So I'm getting new springs, new control arms, new steering stabilizer, well I already got that, steering rack, track bar, all going to be new. Alright guys, the reason why I'm putting the front suspension on is to be able to lower the back end and roll it out. So let me show you what I mean. So you got this wheel hump here, or this frame hump. So trying to drop it down low enough and get it out with the height of the vehicle, it's going to suck. And plus having front wheels will help greatly because I'll be able to roll it out. So the plan is to prop the body up, lower the back of the frame, get it on some dollies, and just right out the front. Or at least lower it enough so I can clean the top half of the frame, because, you know, obviously back there is all nasty, and I want to get under the body too. I want to preserve that. And also, let me put on a light, where the shocks go up here and the fuel tank, I want to get on top of there and get inside of there and protect that. So that's why I'm going the route I'm going, but this is going to be moving slowly for the next few months, which sucks for me and for getting content out, but is what it is. I need the money to do these projects, and I want to do these projects, so yeah. I'm obviously going to need the weather to cooperate. Like I said, I think I said it in the middle of the video somewhere, but I'm on a 4-day weekend, which would have been awesome to knock this all out, but of course it's cold today, tomorrow's Saturday, Sunday, it's going to snow both of those days, so it's not even worth getting to. I want to pull the frame out, clean it up, prep it, paint it, and let it cure for a few days, and then be able to shove it back under, get the new body mounts in, and all that fun stuff. So weather is my nemesis, so hopefully it doesn't have to wait too long. If I'm working overtime and a good weekend comes up where it's going to be, you know, 50 degrees and sunny and no wind, and it just, everything lines up perfectly, I will take that weekend off from working overtime and get the frame out and do exactly like I said. So it's just a matter of the weather cooperating. And it's been frustrating because I've had this thing apart probably since September, and it just, something always happened. Something got in the way, something weather-wise, or, you know, life. So anyway, I appreciate your patience. God knows I need a lot of it. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal, and I will see you guys in the next one.